So lesson 2.1, continuing on this lesson, we're going to look at the scale of a graph and how that affects the data that are shown. In this graph here, notice that the vertical axis actually really starts at 500. The squiggly line is just showing that we don't need all the numbers from 0 to 500. There's no information there to look at. Therefore, they've left it out. The horizontal axis here is one box is equivalent to 6 months at a time, and the vertical axis is one box is $25. This is showing cost per ton versus month of the cost of sheet metal. So the units here are really dollars per month. And we can really influence how a person views the data by changing the vertical scale and by changing where this axis really starts. A lot of time in newspapers you'll find that the data seems to be skewed slightly just so the journalist can give his point of view. Now we're going to look at how that differs if we draw the graph in a slightly different manner. So it's asking here, what does it appear has happened to the price of sheet metal over time? You can see that it looks like it's fluctuating quite wildly at times. Part B, what are the scale and starting point? Well, I've mentioned that already. Starts really at 500 to 750 with a box representing $25. And then it's asking us to redraw this. So redrawing it, you can see that a much flatter graph. Points don't seem to fluctuate as wildly, and the fluctuations don't look as large. Notice they do start at 0 and they do go up. In this case, the scale here is, it looks like 4 boxes is equivalent to 300. So each box is probably about $75. In the text in your book, it says here in part C, by drawing the vertical axis starting at 0 and using the same scale. Well, in fact, they don't actually use the same scale in this example. You could redraw it yourself, say using a scale of 1 box in the vertical to be $50, and it would still give you a similar result to this. What I'd like you to do for this lesson in Build Your Skills, leave out question 11, but go to question 12. As you view this video, I'd like you to do this question now before class tomorrow. And tomorrow in class, we'll do practice your new skills starting on page 76. So as I say, try this question here, number 12, as we finish off the video. And we'll see you in class tomorrow.